Hi, I'm Sharon Counsel. Come on in and help yourself. The Help Yourself Experience is a fitness center for enhancing professional and personal life skills. Today's topic is, you want me to do what? The art of public speaking. This information should not take the place of talking with your doctor or healthcare professional about how to manage and treat stress or anxiety. Imagine yourself standing before an audience or in front of an interviewer or even your co-workers, and you say to yourself, what? You want me to do what? Today we will discuss how to conquer these challenges of public speaking and give a winning presentation. Here's our objectives. We would like to discuss the importance of being properly prepared, determine how our appearance and attitude affects our presentation delivery, and we'll also demonstrate several techniques to delivering a winning presentation. In some surveys, fear of public speaking ranks #1 on the top 10 charts. You are perspiring profusely, your stomach seems to be in knots, and it seems as if your throat is closing up. What should you do? We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, let's discuss what fear is and then how to overcome the fear of public speaking. According to HowStuffWorks.com, fear is a chain reaction in the brain. It starts with a stressful stimulus and ends with the release of chemicals that cause a racing heart, fast breathing, and energized muscles, among other things. This is also known as the fight or flight response. The stimulus could be an insect or animal, a life-threatening situation, the sudden thud of your front door against the door frame, or an auditorium full of people waiting for you to speak. The brain is a profoundly complex organ. More than 100 billion nerve cells comprise an intricate network of communications. That is the starting point of everything we sense, think, and do. Some of these communications lead to conscious thoughts and actions, while others produce autonomic responses. The fear response is almost entirely autonomic. We don't consciously trigger it or even know what's going on until it has run its course. So how do I overcome my fear of public speaking? Most behavioral therapists for fear extinction focus on exposure. So what would exposure be for the extinction of fear of public speaking? Learn about the things you fear. If it is your audience, learn more about the group before speaking. Practice so you become familiar with the subject matter. Talk about it. Sharing your fear out loud can make it much less daunting. And seek help. Fear is not a simple emotion. If you're having trouble overcoming your fear on your own, find a professional to help you. So now, let's put this in the context of our workshop. Your words are you. They're your verbal fingerprint. No two people share the same fingerprint. The combination of your words, the way you stand and walk, puts your story in motion. It's who you are. When presenting, let the audience feel your passion for the subject, and in doing so, you'll make them care. First, let's look at preparation. Know your material. Preparation is a critical component to the success of your presentation. If you are presenting in front of an audience, know your material. If you are presenting yourself in a job interview, know your accomplishments and be prepared to speak about them in detail. In preparing for your presentation, answer these questions. What am I trying to accomplish? What are my objectives in making this presentation? What will the end result be? Most of all, practice, practice, practice. You can boost your level of confidence and decrease your nervous jitters by being thoroughly prepared. Then, commit to success. According to brainhealthandpuzzles.com, the human brain can process 70,000 thoughts on an average day. Therefore, there will be some negative thoughts. Combat your negative thoughts by affirming that this will be the best presentation or interview ever. Your own words controls your self-esteem, and your self-esteem controls your confidence, or lack thereof. Don't forget to take care of yourself by incorporating positive self-talk. Each time you begin to hear a negative message from within, counter it with a positive one. For example, negative self-talk. This is it. I know it. I'm going to fall flat on my face. Instead, counter this with positive self-talk. I know I have valuable information to share, and people will walk away better informed. Now, doesn't that feel better? Second, examine your appearance and adjust your attitude. Cultivate a professional appearance through good grooming and clean, neat, professional dress. This is not the time to make a fashion statement. So ladies, keep those bright red stilettos at home. Stick to business dress standards. Dress the way you want to be perceived. Look like you care about what you are doing. Dress comfortably and be proud of who you are. Is body language and nonverbal communication important? Absolutely. You are just as important as your message. Professor Albert Mahimbrand has pioneered the understanding of communications since the 1960s. In Professor Albert Mahimbrand's communication model, his research provided the basis for the widely quoted statistic for the effectiveness of spoken communications. He states the impact you make on others depends on what you say. That ranks at 7%. How you say it ranks at 38%. And by your body language ranks at a whopping 55%. More than 90% of our communication is conveyed by nonverbal means. And as you see, body language is the main factor in such communication. Let's talk about facial expressions. Our face is the most expressive part of our body. The facial expressions you use when you talk are important because they create a distinct first impression about you. If you have too much tension in your facial muscles, you may appear to be angry or uptight. If you want others to perceive you positively, keep your eyes wide open, your brows unfrowned, and an alert and animated look on your face. Don't forget to smile or look friendly. You want to be approachable. Smiling will maintain a friendly atmosphere and keep you connected to your listeners. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. A smile is worth 1,000,000 words. How about stance? Stand erect. Your posture is the key to communicating your image. Your posture is one of the first things people look at and make judgments. You don't want to come across as neither too stiff nor too sloppy. Stand as straight as you are important. And you are important, so hold your head high. Good posture gives the impression of authority. While you're making your presentation, make a conscious effort not to fold your arms. Folded arms seem to encourage slouching, and it certainly sends a message of defending or protecting yourself. Don't pace, and use hand gestures to help illustrate meaningful points. Let's take a question from our fan base. Here's a note from Beverly in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, regarding how to maintain good eye contact. It reads, "Dear Sharon, in the Help Yourself experience, oftentimes when I am speaking in front of a group of people or even one-on-one, from the start I become nervous and I've noticed that my eyes begin to wander around the room. I never really look directly at the person or group of people I am addressing. When I realize that I've been disconnected, I quickly refocus, but sometimes it's already too late. The other person has already noticed." Any suggestions? Thanks for your question, Beverly. Most speakers don't realize what a negative and alienating effect poor eye contact can have on their total image. Good eye contact is looking in the general vicinity of the person's eyes, the whole face, and occasionally making direct eye contact. It's really about making that person feel like he or she is the only person in the room. When you are making a presentation, don't look over people's heads to the back of the room. Rather, look at the individuals around the room, spending perhaps 5 to 10 seconds with each person. It creates an atmosphere of a conversation rather than a speech, thereby putting you at ease. Vocal variety and using your voice effectively are the two things that can easily be overlooked in a presentation. How you use your voice is just as important as your preparation, professionalism, and body language that we've just mentioned. Let's hear from Chet Mather of Toastmasters International in Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's see what Chet has to say regarding vocal variety.
Have you ever listened to your voice? How does it sound? Does it sound something like this? Or does it sound something like this? We may not pay attention to it, but our voice affects people. Through our voice, we can establish the mood of the conversation. In order to communicate effectively, we must vary our voice to create energy, excitement, to convey emotion. Imagine a painter who's only got one color to choose from. Well, that painting probably wouldn't be that great. Well, our voice is like that color palette. The more we vary it, the more colorful it is. There are 4 ways to vary voice: pitch, tone, volume, and rate. Pitch is the highness or the lowness of our voice. The delta is called a pitch range, and we all have a pitch range. The narrower this pitch range is, the more monotone our sound or our voice is. The wider that is, that's how you vary pitch. So you want to have a wide pitch range. Another technique is called tone. Tone is the emotion in our voice. The energy in our voice conveys excitement. It draws the audience in. So you want to vary up your tone. Another technique is called volume. Volume is how loud or how soft something is. So imagine if you heard a big bang. Well, your ears are very adept at picking up volume changes. So when I talk in a normal voice like this and all of a sudden I get really loud, the audience is going to pay more attention. So you want to vary your volume. Rate is the last technique, and rate is the pace at which we speak. If I talk very, very slow like this, you're going to get bored. But if I talk really, really fast like this, then you might get annoyed and tune me out. So you want to vary your rate, and a good rate to follow is somewhere between 120 to 160 words per minute. Varying all 4 of these in appropriate amounts, pitch, tone, volume, and rate, creates an exciting and engaging conversation. Pay attention to those conversationalists that you're drawn to, and you'll notice that they master all 4 of these. With a little practice, you can master it too.
Thanks, Chet. Here's a quick recap. Master vocal variety by varying your voice with pitch, tone, volume, and rate. Let's move on to other voice tips. To stay healthy and physically fit, a proper diet and exercise is required, wouldn't you say? The same holds true for a healthy and fit voice. Let's hear from Angela Clemmings, a recording artist and voice coach.
My name is Angela Clemmings, and I'd just like to speak with you a little bit about taking care of your voice. As a singer, I found that it's very important for me to take care of my vocal instrument in order to be able to perform with clarity and precision. So what I like to do is just give you a few tips once again for taking care of your voice. First of all, you don't want to strain your speaking voice. When you put strain on your speaking voice, you're putting strain on your singing voice. One thing that you don't want to do is to yell at football games or yell over loud traffic or yell at your spouse. Don't do that, because that again is going to put strain on your vocal cords. Another thing that you'll want to do is to kind of stay away from caffeinated drinks and beverages such as coffee or Coke.